Should you make a New Year's resolution?
Yeah, or are they a total waste of time? We're going to expose the absolute worst, the things you want to stay away from. Hey, Manon.
Oh yes, we are. Anyone who has tried to make a New Year's resolution knows just how hard it is to make them stick. No matter how good your intentions were, when you made the New Year's resolution, it can be super hard to actually make the change.
Yeah, did you know that 80% of resolutions made in the new year actually failed to get to February? And on the second Friday of January, is known as Quitter's Day, and that is because it is the most common day that everyone ends up quitting.
That is quite a lot of people. And only 2 weeks into the year.
I know, exactly. So we are going to show you guys, you cyclists out there, which New Year's resolutions you should stay away from, and if you do really want to make a resolution, how to make it stick so that you don't become a quitter. A New Year's resolution many people may consider is running, but you should take running with a huge amount of caution. It sounds easy, doesn't it? Grabbing your trainers, heading out for a run. It's not only good for you, it's healthy, it gets you out in the fresh air, it's helping you lose some weight, and it creates some variety in your sporting life. But if there's anyone that can tell you different, there's anyone that can give you some advice of why not to run, it's Manon. Hey, Manon.
Yeah, I tried running. Didn't end well for me. Now, I was, like many of you that might want to consider doing a different sport, wanting to, add a bit of spice, add a few different sports in there. So I took up running, it was going well, a few runs a week. Then I decided to gradually up the mileage. Came back with a stress fracture in my foot. So, yeah. And the reason behind that is mainly because I'm a cyclist, because I've been doing a non-weight-bearing sport for so long. When I went to do a weight-bearing sport, my bones were just not used to it. Yes, probably up in the mileage didn't help. That wasn't very sensible. But if you are considering it, approach it with a lot of caution. New year, new me. That's the saying, isn't it? We spent all of December eating and drinking our way through the month. It is literally the best. All that Christmas turkey, all those Yorkshire puddings and crispy potatoes.
It's just
brilliant,
isn't it?
It is.
But then you wake up at January 1st and all that guilt sinks in. You look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, no! I need to get rid of that Christmas tire I have created around my belly.
We're not saying this isn't a good mindset to have, but we want to make sure that you're creating a process that is going to last.
Yeah, something that a lot of people don't actually know is that losing 1 to 2 pounds per week is actually considered pretty good progress. And that starting on a new diet, you actually tend to lose more weight at the beginning stages when you start off that diet.
Yes, and that helps tremendously with motivation. You're raring to go, you're losing all this weight, but that doesn't last. Obviously, you're going to lose a lot of weight at the start, then it's kind of going to taper out, and that's when the hard work starts. But also, a lot of people will give up and just go back to the start.
Yeah, so what we want to do is create good habits and maybe tweak your diet to involve some healthier foods and switch the bad foods out for the good foods.
But making those small changes will lead eventually to you losing a few pounds.
It's all about creating healthy habits.
Definitely.
Because healthy habits are the ones that make it sustainable, and hopefully you will lose those extra pounds. Now this one I am a massive culprit for. The bigger goal, the absolute better. Shoot for the moon, hit the stars. You get that saying?
Yeah, I do.
Just gonna think up my biggest goal for this year, actually.
Hey Hank, quick question.
Hey, Manon.
What's your New Year's resolution this year?
Do you know what? Mega question, because I've been thinking long and hard about my 2024 New Year's resolution.
Oh, yeah.
I've had 5 years off, like hear me out here, nice and recovered. I've kind of got back into cycling a little bit more, and I didn't make the Tour de France back when I was riding pro, so I thought, well, I'll make a good stab at it with the right nutrition, the right training, and the right team. I think I can make a big comeback. What are you saying?
What team are you going to ride for?
Well, it's funny you ask. Ineos Grenadiers sent me a jersey to try out.
You done yet? So if you want to set yourself a goal, make sure it's a realistic one and you do have a chance of achieving it. Unlike Hank's goal, where in reality, are you really going to be able to ride the Tour de France Vignes Grenadiers after 5 years of retirement and not really being at that level?
I guess it's slightly unrealistic. A top tip for you, I guess, is to create goals that you can achieve in the short term. It sets you off on the right foot. And then if you have some big goals that happen later on the year, like an event or a race or a big challenge, what you can do is create goals in the interim, meaning that you create that momentum and you create that positivity. And ultimately, that should set you up well for achieving that goal. Add to carts. Right, that looks good. Let's pay for that. Proceed to checkout.
We've all been there. Yeah. January hits, the Christmas bills need paying, and that heating bill is running pretty high, and that needs paying off as well.
Yeah.
So you set yourself a New Year's resolution of trying to save some cash. Yeah. And within that, you're not allowed to spend any money on anything cycling related, which seems at the time pretty logical and quite tempting, actually.
Yeah. Now, this might seem sensible in the short term, but in the long term, is it really the right thing? Because think about it, we're not going to stop riding our bikes and there's going to be wear and tear. This is only going to cause problems in the long run. Remember, cycling is a big part of our lives. It's meant to be something we enjoy, and we don't want to suck all the enjoyment out of it. And also all the things that cycling benefits our lives, like happiness and fitness, and maybe even saving money on transport bills. You know what, Manon?
What?
I have never, ever broken a New Year's resolution.
Fair play, that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, you know why? Because I've never actually set a New Year's resolution. I'm not setting myself up for failure in the first 2 weeks of the new year.
That's pretty good tactics, actually. But it does beg the question, do we need to set New Year's resolutions? Because personally, I've set them in the past and I have failed. And then I get a little bit down because I think I'm a failure.
Yeah, and no one should feel pressured
to
setting New Year's resolutions.
Maybe Hank's not coming back. He said he has to go and do 5 hours now because the Vignes Grenadiers coach said he had to. Maybe he does have a chance. Anyway, enough of that. Those are some of the New Year's resolutions us cyclists should stay well clear of this year. But let me know if we have missed any by dropping them in the comment section below. And whilst you're down there, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and we'll see you in the new year.